Yeah, can you feel it? You ready for this? We have Marty DeGarmo, Robin Noble, Collins, whoever that is, and we're going to be reacting to...
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
So get ready to feel a whole bunch of things, including anger. I'll roll that intro, we'll get right into the stream. Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? Happy MLM Monday, and of course, today we're going to be talking about my favorite MLM that wishes that it wasn't an MLM called ONPASSIVE. We're going to be seeing what people have been saying over the last few days. I know it hasn't been that long since we talked about them, but apparently, a lot is going on this week, including tomorrow, which is when they're going to start allocating the traffic. And we'll let Mike Ellis explain that one to us in a little bit. Hello, Ken. Good to see you. I'm glad that you were doing your happy dance today. Today is a great day to be happy. Wes says roses are red, but Marty, why so? I don't know what he did to himself. He's either changed the resolution, the saturation, the color scheme. He did something to his camera. And now he's our favorite tomato, I like to say. Hand pink waving to all of you. I hope that you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful start of the day. Hello, Chelsea. Good to see you. I hope you're also having a good day. Mark is here. Good evening to all. It's the evening where he is. It's 1 p.m. in the afternoon where I am. So, Ash called to limited followers. Do you know what? He should have just called it that. Although he did call one of his pyramid schemes Ash Max, and then that one got shut down. So he already tried to name one after himself. It just didn't work out like this one has. Hello, yes, traffic allocation. Apparently that means big things, and apparently it's starting tomorrow. Hello, Nathan. Good to see you. And basically, it made me laugh how into it Mike Ellis is. So without further ado, let's just get right into it.
If you've been listening to Mr. Mufaro over the last couple of weeks, you know that ONPASSIVE today is on a roll. Mr. Mufaro has been sharing a great deal of information with those individuals.
Okay, you guys have, most of you anyway, have heard all of the information. If you've been watching the Recovering Hunbot streams, she had actually put out the entire corporate webinar, so you can go watch it in parts on her channel. You've heard basically over here what Marty and Chris had to say about it afterwards. And would you consider this to be Ash sharing a bunch of personal information? Because I don't feel like he's sharing anything more than what he usually shares
Within ONPASSIVE.
Hello, Devil's
I've had the chance to listen to a lot of the leaders talk about what Mr. Mufaro was sharing with us. Very, very powerful stuff. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. But there are a couple of things that I haven't heard them talk about. Now, maybe they have. I just haven't heard them.
Because he loves me.
But there's one thing in there that is extremely powerful, and it talks about the marketing genius that Mr. Mufaro has. Just one little thing, but very, very powerful.
Okay, again, I don't feel like if I was going to describe Ash in any way, I feel like marketing genius would be the last thing that I would come up with. I mean, I guess you could argue in some ways it was pretty crazy of him to get on the side of the Burj Khalifa They bought the naming rights to that little train station. You know, like I guess you could say that was great. The problem is though is that the company doesn't have any good products that are working, so it doesn't have anything to sell. And so the timing of this marketing has been very bad. I think that's fair to say.
The 7th of January, Mr. Mufar put a memo in the back office, the OES back office.
Said nothing.
And in that memo were a few things: OConnect, traffic allocation, commissions, new products, and more.
Again, it was just a little notice. All right. If you've been watching these streams of mine, especially on Mondays, we've gone through all of the notices as they've popped up. You haven't missed anything. Hello, Alex. Good to see you. They're all liars and scammers, but Mike really takes it to another level. This guy's just complete trash and should be in jail. I found this one that he did to be very, very humorous.
And one thing stuck out to me, and it really is, it's one of those unseen things that...
But it's not unseen. I love how he puts this out here like he's cracked some kind of code into finding the Holy Grail.
Most people don't think about. And that one thing was traffic allocation. And when I heard that, and we even have kind of a date when they're going to start doing the traffic allocation. I think
I was like, when? I don't remember them actually giving a date. Did I miss it? Did I miss that? Cause like I literally sat here the first time that I watched this and I was like, I don't remember them actually giving a date. See, they used to give deadlines and dates for everything, but lately they've been kind of like joshing on themselves and the fact that Ash never gets anything done by the date that they give. So their whole thing is that they're not really going to be giving dates anymore and like putting out deadlines like, oh, Connect will be out by December 5th. That was basically the last one that they planned on doing. And that didn't turn out right. So I don't remember them giving a date, but Mike here comes up with one all on his own.
It's around the 16th of January, somewhere in there. The date doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I guess it'll be tomorrow, the 16th. Like, good to know. I don't remember Ash saying this. I don't remember Marty saying this. I don't remember Chris saying this. Have they said a whole bunch of other bullshit? And have they all claimed that this is happening very soon? Yes. But I feel like this is one of those moments where they didn't give a date and then Mike is just like throwing one out into the universe, which is exactly what they are complaining people are doing right now. Mike, you're going to get yourself kicked out of ONPASSIVE. Do they allow carnivore diets in jail? No, probably not. I bet you the meat that you do get in jail is not even real meat anyway. Do you know what? It's funny that you say this. Because I do have to say that out of like all of the O founders, I have to agree that Mike comes off the most fake. I find him very robotic when he's doing these. Like, you can't feel much genuineness coming off of him as a person in these, right? Like, out of all of them. When I'm watching Marty and Chris, I can feel some genuineness coming from them. Even Marty. I can feel that he's like a human being. You could probably talk me into believing that Mike Ellis is a fucking robot. And I would be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm here to see how much longer these idiots think ONPASSIVE is going to yield the money. And that's completely understandable. I think a lot of people right now are expecting this to kind of be the thing that breaks the camel's back. But I don't know. Okay, did they say the 16th? Like, is it a set date for tomorrow? Because I think it's fucking, that's hilarious. For the new and improved version of OConnect, yes. They maybe did for OConnect, but I don't remember them saying when the traffic allocation was going to start. I mean, maybe they stated something like it'll start the day that we release O Connect, then that would make sense that it's the 16th. But I don't remember them actually giving a date at all. It was on that 4 hour. Yeah, I know. It's you can watch this is the problem. Okay, this is actually a great example and a great you're seeing it in real time. This is the problem with having 4-hour corporate webinars at 10 p.m. at night that then don't start until closer to 11 because nothing's fucking working. Okay? Because none of this is in writing. As me and Alonda keep bringing up, all of this is word of mouth planning now, right? In terms of the new O Connect being released, the commission hasn't been written up in a contract yet, so that's just kind of all word of mouth. And this is the problem with that as well, because you can't expect normal people to constantly pay attention to 4 hours of a corporate webinar, middle of the fucking night, okay? Technically, that thing went from 11 p.m. until 3 in the morning my time. You get what I mean? Who is going to remember everything? This is why I'm often guys, please tell me, do you remember this? Because, I can't remember it because I've watched the 4-hour corporate webinar. Then I watched 10 hours of Marty and Chris. I watched an hour of Comfort. I watched an hour of Mike Ellis. And after a little while, I gotta say, everything just meshes in together. Okay? Even if you are doing your best and drinking all the coffee and doing your best to try to pay attention to all of this, you can't. It's humanly impossible, especially as just one person. That's why taking down these things are very much a group effort. And that's why I like having you all here and in the Discord posting stuff and whatnot. Because there's no way for one person to keep track of all of that. And that's why I keep saying it's insane to me that they expect everybody in this thing to be able to do that. It's impossible. You can't. I bet you half of us don't remember them giving this date because our brain then got filled with the other 3 hours of the webinar. You know what I mean? It's literally impossible. And this is why having these long-ass webinars, especially at weird hours, isn't good. This is why you need to have this shit in writing. Because if they had actually put everything in writing, you can go and check that. Right? Then we're not sitting here as a group going, do you remember them saying this? Because I don't really remember them saying this, but I watched 10 hours of ONPASSIVE that day. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said it and then I just don't remember, missed that part. Maybe I was thinking about something else for a minute. But that's a normal human being. Even if you are so hardcore into this, I don't think it's possible to keep track of every single fucking thing that they say, even the dates they do give. It's hard. And I don't think it's fair to expect it from O-founders at all. And this is why information gets mixed up. People say things that maybe they didn't say, or maybe they did say, or maybe they implied it, and then you try to interpret it in a certain way. And again, that's why everything should be in fucking writing, because then there is none of that, right? They only needed a fucking hour to announce everything. For real. So if they had done an hour corporate webinar, decent time of the day, went through all just the important shit, shut it down, put everything in writing, everyone could then keep track of what's going on. It's Jesus Christ. Nobody can do it. Mike Ellis preaches like a dodgy politician. There's this disconnect between him and the rest of the world when he does these. The whole tank people are only going to people that have paid for O Connect by the 16th. Okay, yes. All right. So I guess they would have had to have given a deadline for how long you have to pay for O Connect. Because it is very true that they're illegally telling people that you have to have OConnect in order to make money. That's illegal. You can't tell people they have to buy your product in order to make money when you're an MLM. Still booting out my OConnect so I can watch Queen. There aren't enough hours in the day for an O-connector. There aren't. There's not enough bandwidth on the internet for the number of people to use it all at the same time and be all on the screen either, by the way, with how they're running it. Passive income equals daily 8-hour shitty webinars. It's so true. It's like, literally, that's the one thing that they've been consistent on, is their long-winded webinars. And they're always at the weirdest times. Even during the day, it's at bizarre times. They'll be like, we're going to go live at 2:52 p.m. Eastern. It's like, Jesus Christ. The powerful fool traffic will be worthless junk. Non-paying customers and fake accounts. Ash will end up selling targeted traffic. I've already talked about the whole targeted traffic thing and how there's no way for him to guarantee the success with this targeted traffic, or anyone else for that matter, unless you're selling bots. That's the only way. It's hard to know what they say is correct or will happen since Ash doesn't remember the lie he told last month. And that's the other thing, is that sometimes, like, they'll give this due day, and then we've seen it over and over again where people do pay attention. And then they go, okay, so they're doing this on the 16th. 16 comes and goes and nothing happens. And then when everyone's like, what happened to the 16th? They go, well, why were you holding us to that? So you never know what to do here, even if you are an O founder, to keep up with everything. Happy MLM Monday, Violet. Right? It just gets like to be too much. Marty and Chris are Pinky and the Pinky, no brain, but still trying to take over the world, right?
But when I heard traffic allocation, I know that individuals are smart. And they know that ONPASSIVE is a business that will go to work for them. At least that's what they think. But when Mr. Mufara put that he was going to start the traffic allocation next week sometime, that light went on for people. Absolutely brilliant what Mr. Mufara did. And he's giving them the time to come in, BioConnect, so that they can get the traffic allocation. Because in order to get traffic from ONPASSIVE, you have to own OConnect. Most people know that. When I look at my business and what happened over the last week, I was really, really curious. Okay, Mr. Mufara put that in there, traffic allocation. What is that going to do for my business? And what happened is the floodgates just burst open. Again, people are very, very smart. When people heard traffic allocation, understood that ONPASSIVE was going to take the people they have in their holding tank and start putting them underneath those affiliates with ONPASSIVE, it was over, just game over. And they started coming in and buying OConnect because they wanted to take advantage of that. Again, this just blows my mind. One little thing.
Okay, so here's the funny thing about this. This could be true. It could totally be true that when this was announced by Ash and everyone else, that if you are in ONPASSIVE and you have not bought OConnect, you're not going to make money. That a whole bunch of the people that were already O founders in there went, oh shit, because they wanted to maybe wait to see if people would make money first off of it, which is, I believe, is the smarter choice, but maybe that's just me. And they were basically told, like, you have to buy this in order to make a cent in selling it. So they went, oh, fuck. And then they went and bought it. So now brings up the question. Did these people buy it because they all want OConnect and they have a use for it? And they're really excited to, like, share it and sell it to everyone they know so that they too can get all these benefits? Or are a bunch of people kind of being forced into buying this now because they have put everything into this business, maybe for like up to 5 years, right? and they are depending on getting paid from this thing at this point. You know, you can almost get in over your head in a way with MLMs like this, or investment opportunities, even legit ones, where now it has to pay out. You put 3 months of pay to get that $97 O founder. You have to make money back off of this thing. So now you have to buy O Connect. Because you can't really force people to buy it in order to make money and then try to act like that means that it's something that everybody wanted on the market. You get what I'm saying? People are buying this because they're so excited for the product and it's so great. They can't wait to share it. They're literally buying it because they're being told, even if now all of a sudden, even if you paid that $97 to be an O founder, and we told you we were leaving nobody behind, right? All of you would get paid. Now you only get paid based on this one stipulation, and that stipulation is, did you buy O Connect? Because the way that Mike's trying to paint it here is like Ash announced that they would make money off O Connect, and then they just all loved it so much and were so excited about this that they all went and flocked there to buy it. It's like, that's not really what happened here, though. Right?
That Mr. Mufar does for marketing, it just blows the doors wide open. This is going to affect everybody within ONPASSIVE, those affiliates within ONPASSIVE. And my business, I don't know how much it's gone up, 10, 15, 20%. It's gone up a bunch.
See, that's what I feel like, Violet. I feel like that's what happened. Like, I don't remember them saying that on the 16th was when they were going to start to put people underneath people, which is what that is, right? It was kind of up in the air for coming soon. But then I don't really remember them saying that the 16th was the cutoff for the first wave either. So my mind's a big blur with all the ONPASSIVE I've taken in the last week. But I do seem to feel like they never really said, come that day, we're going to start allocating all the traffic under all of you. That's all still very much up in the air. They don't even have this written up yet as like some form of independent contractor agreement they can have with their distributors / O founders. So it's still too much up in the air for them to be given these dates.
But if it's happening within my business, it's probably happening within the overall scope of the ecosystem of ONPASSIVE. This is a really
like right here, Mike says, this is happening in my business. And the way he's talking is he's talking as if he already has a whole bunch of people allocated under him on a team. Like he has a whole downline. And within his downline, he saw a whole bunch of them go and purchase O Connect in order to like get paid, right? But at the same time, he's announcing they're not even allocating people for a few days. Right? I believe this went up yesterday. So 2 days before they're even putting people under him. So what does he mean? I see this within my business. Dude, you don't have a business yet. You're waiting for them to give you your fucking downline. So what are you talking about?
Really big deal. What happens when people come in and buy O Connect? Obviously, we all come in as customers, then we're affiliates, then we make commission. As a customer comes in, ONPASSIVE does not compete against us. Each customer that comes in lands underneath an affiliate, under your business. When that happens, you get paid a commission. The first individual that comes in buys O Connect, it's 100% commission. After that, it's 25%. But there are other expenses in there. ONPASSIVE has to make enough money to keep the business running. They have to bring in enough revenue to pay those expenses for R&B, and then to have a kitty for unexpected expenses. But what happens when those two things, pieces of revenue are met? There's still money left over. This is where it gets really, really exciting. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I know Mr. Mufar, his goal is to help you get to that place where you don't worry about finances. So
you heard that, right? Mike here is claiming that you're going to get 25% of the commissions after your first sale, where you get 100%. So after that, it's going to be 25%. So his whole thing is that then the rest of that money, the 75% that's left, Ash will, of course, take some of that and put it back into the business, maybe another 25%. So then 50% of those funds will kind of just be sitting there, let's say, in an account, if you will, right? Maybe in his wallet. So the idea here is that now Mike's saying that that money is just going to get handed back out to the O founders. And I'm like, but he already spent the $108 million that he made off of you. And what did you guys get for that? Not much. You got some marketing, maybe. That's it. Some marketing for ONPASSIVE, not the individualized marketing that you were promised, right? Because they're promised very individualized marketing at this thing, even though it's for ONPASSIVE business, which is not at all an individual business or your own small business or any of the sorts. So, I'm having such a hard time with you with this, Mike. I really am. Like you said, he's detached from reality. Everything this guy is a twisting reality at the least, and usually an outright lie. I understand where he got the idea from that Ash was gonna give back this money to everyone, but I'm like, you've already seen that he has no problem spending your guys' money on just going to the salon and spa. So why would you now all of a sudden think that the rest of the money is going back out to you guys? It's just very bizarre. Very bizarre. Ash is buying double-ply toilet paper off of the backs of the founders. Yeah, he is. Groceries, cryptocurrency. He probably put a bunch of money in different accounts. I believe they said they found some allocated in a bunch of accounts, since you love allocating so much, Mike. He's basically just going to move that money to all these different offshore accounts. ONPASSIVE is going to steal the internet from Al Gore. The monsters! How dare they? Mike Ellis, by the way. Yeah, it had been a while. See, Mike kind of slowed down on doing videos. I used to react to him quite regularly because I, too, agree that he is one of the slimier ones here. And he might be a lizard person. I don't know. So he had kind of slowed down on posting about ONPASSIVE. We didn't really hear from him for a while. So when I saw this video and what he was saying, I was like, we have to react to this. It's only 6 minutes long.
Wants you to be successful. So the revenue that is left over after those two expenses, the company and then the commissions, what's going to happen to that? I don't know.
Well, Ash's wife is going to go to the salon and spa. Glad we had that talk.
But I believe Mr. Mufareh, he has a heart to serve. He wants you to succeed. That corporate volume that's left over, I think it's going to be a very, very good thing. I think it's going to affect everybody in ONPASSIVE. So when I saw what Mr. Mufareh did with that one little thing, and again, it's just mind-blowing. One little thing, one little marketing thing made such a vast difference, not only in my organization, but all of ONPASSIVE and for you.
Should be.
That's what he does every single day.
Not
I can
really,
tell you right now that next week is going to be a very, very exciting week. There are things that are going to be happening to just blow you away.
Yep, that's this week. This week right now.
Life is going to change. And as we look at what's going to be happening, I also can tell you the best is yet to come. Mr. Mufareh, he never disappoints. He always goes above and beyond, above market value, above everything. And I can tell you over the weeks and months to come, none of you will be disappointed. And those individuals that had not bought O-Connect and came in and bought O-Connect, you just made a really, really good decision, because you will be included in that traffic allocation when they start to.
Wow, I'm so glad that they made a good decision, Mike. Have you ever bought store-bought pesto, though? No, the whole thing, though, with this is And also, Chris, I don't know. Mike probably did have to get a job. Maybe that's why he wasn't uploading as much. But the whole thing with this is like, if he was actually if Ash actually was that into helping the people, as Mike's making it seem here, to the point where he's going to give his profit from this company, like, just away to all of the other O founders, what happened to Obless? Like, how come Obless isn't the very first product that he released then? Because that was supposed to be the software, the crowdfunding thing that was going to help all the O founders, right? So if he was really in this for the good of humanity and everything, you would think that he would have worked on Obless before he worked on O Connect. Like, that's just my opinion, but I think you're kind of showing us what you're all about, right? How did Ash get these people to believe in him so heavy? Several of them are people that he met along the way in his past, a lot of them at the Global Domains, the GDI company. Globo Domains International, another MLM that Ash was a part of, and some of them he met from Pay Diamond, some of them from crypto stuff along the way. A lot of them are people that kind of MLM hop, so they're always looking for the next best scam. And honestly, when Ash opened up on Passive, they were guaranteed a spot in the top 1%. And so these people all believe in him as long as he's going to make them all money. I guess people believe in Ash just like people believe in Jason Castillo or Lauren Suarez or Harold Klemp or Charles Manson. Like, it's very much the same. And with the indoctrinating long webinars they're supposed to attend every single day, and how they slowly get brainwashed into not even asking any questions or pushing back in any way, it can lead to people being completely manipulated into a cult of personality around Ash. Because this is more a cult of personality than it even is a commercial cult, obviously, because they're just starting to get their downlines apparently this week, right? And just starting to be able to sell a product this week. So obviously it's not the product keeping most of them here. I think we can all agree on that for sure, right? I mean, they don't really have much of a product. Even when they do have a product, it doesn't work. So Mike did have to get a job about a year ago, said he had bills to pay while waiting for the payoff. Yeah, I seem to remember them going through a weird spurt where a bunch of them were saying that it was okay. You know? Why don't you start working instead of this nonsense? Well, I actually feel like we need more people in our sphere speaking out about cults and getting people out of cults, especially since the internet age has grown. We have too many cults, too many cultists, and not enough of us anti-cultists that are speaking out. I'm also a mom. I do work partially from home, like part-time-ish. And, why aren't you working instead of watching my live stream? I was wondering. I bet you I can get more fulfillment personally out of helping people out of scams, cults, shooting the shit with people on the internet, making fun of these guys, than you can in your job. I'm just saying. Word. I don't think the key founders actually do believe in Ash. They believe that Ash is good at scamming the ordinary founders and they're jumping on the bandwagon. I do believe a lot of them know, for sure. You know? Yeah, why don't you start making money in ONPASSIVE? Where's the ONPASSIVE money? I'm just wondering. Yeah, they're very racist over there. Jason Castillo is a really disgusting person. He really is, but not that far off from Ash. I mean, Ash has also had lots and lots of racist comments and very, very misogynistic comments. They all tend to be like that, right? You know? I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Allocate those individuals that have come in, that Unpassive has brought in, and are in the holding tank. This is an exciting time for
The
everybody
holding
that's in
tank.
Unpassive, that everybody that is an
Sounds like you're in jail already. The holding tank.
affiliate of Unpassive. And I can tell you flat out, in the days, weeks, and months to come, the best is yet to come. If you
I hope so, because if this was your best.
haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, go on down below, hit the button, and as I do more videos, you'll get you'll get notification that I've done the video. You can come over and take a look at it. Because of the stuff that's going to be coming out over the next days and weeks, I'll do more videos than I have been doing.
Yay! We get more Mike Ellis. I'm excited.
This is an exciting time. Get ready. Your life is about to change, and from
Yeah,
there,
now I'm excited too. Look at that.
each and every one of us will absolutely see each and every one of you on the inside. Take care. Have a great week, and get ready.
Oh yeah, people's lives, they are about to change because they paid $97 and got told that since they paid that, they were going to make money, right? Then they got told, actually, we bullshitted you. You have to now pay like $195 in order to make money this month. And then you're going to have to pay that every few months after that. It might go up to $250 sometimes. We might change the price. Might be $500 every once in a while, you know. Nothing's in writing over here, so nothing's in stone. We can just change it whenever the fuck we want. In fact, we can tell you all that you're going to get 25% commission, and then we can give you 0% commission. And guess what? It's not in a contract, so it's not legally binding. Yeah, that's right. Ash could just go, fuck you, Mike Ellis. You get 0% commission right now when you sell that next O Connect, Mike. And do you know what you'd be able to do about it? Nothing. I mean, you might be able to file a complaint with the SEC, but I hear that you don't like them too much.
Ready. It's going to be exciting. Take care. Bye.
But I'm sure it'll be real exciting. Everything is about to get real exciting over here, isn't it, Mike? So, again, I don't know why he is so excited, but he just can't hide it. He knows, he wants to scam you, He's so excited. Okay, I won't think anymore. I'm sorry. But, I like what you said here, Chris. We should start a pool about what excuse they're going to give on the 18th when the new O Connect is working worse than the original one and why they haven't allocated traffic. And that's what I feel like is going to happen. This is why I can't take any date seriously, even when they give a date, because it never fucking happens by that day. It's nothing here has ever happened when Ash said it was going to happen. All right? Not this last Christmas, not the Christmas before, and not the Christmas before that. I've been here since 2021 covering this. 2022-ish, something like that. I don't know. It's been like a few years now. And they literally have not done one fucking thing on time when they said they were going. Not one thing has been done. Right? All right? So when they say, yeah, we're going to do this on this day, I go, yeah, okay, sure you will. And I don't know why more people don't. Why it's just all of us over here and over at the Recovering HUDbots going, no, you won't. You're not going to do that. Everybody else seems to be all gung-ho with it. Yeah, that sounds good. You didn't keep the last 30 deadlines you had, but I believe this one. Like Mike Ellis, by the way. He's over here saying that. He's like, yeah, no, none of the other ones ever worked out, but don't worry, on the 16th, they're going to allocate the traffic. Which that doesn't mean anything, by the way. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're going to get paid. Because here's the part that I don't quite understand is you have to buy the O Connect in order to be a part of the traffic allocation. Okay. So how is the traffic allocation then going to get you that first commission? It's very confusing to me because if you have to buy it first before you join the traffic allocation, is your commission just like sitting in a cloud somewhere in some wallet until they allocate your traffic to someone and then that person gets their commission? Everything is backwards. They just do everything backwards. This can't be Mike Ellis. Mike Ellis always says he's Mike Ellis. Oh, he did at the beginning. You must have missed it. He got very gung-ho about talking about the traffic allocation, how excited he was. And then he said, and I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. Wow, we finally made it through a Mike Ellis video. Yeah, it took us almost an hour, but whatever. Don't forget that Ash is going to pay out $10 million during the month of January. Only 16 more days, yeah, right? Hello, John. Good to see you. And that's what I mean. I can't believe anything. Nothing ever happens here when it's supposed to. You think there's going to be excuses? Everyone will just shrug and pretend things happened according to plan. And if anyone mentions it, they'll just get yelled at and told that they're being negative and asked why they're holding Ash to the things that he said. It will be very difficult to allocate traffic because 1 divided by 1.4 million is a very small number. Right? You know? That's exactly it. Hello, Scam Chan. Good to see you. See, and that's the thing is, okay, so again, we have a line of people in this pyramid scheme, right? All of them are the first waivers of the scheme, the first O founders, okay? So they're supposed to be at the top of the pyramid, right? That's like everybody in it right now. You get what I'm saying? So who is the traffic that's getting allocated? Is that like the future customers? And see, this is what I mean. None of this is explained because none of it is in writing. And if they put all of this in writing, then they can explain to us how exactly they plan on doing this. And then maybe it would make some sense. But they're all just talking about it. Excuse me. So it's just ridiculous to me. The founders will receive details of themselves when the names are distributed. Right? Because, like, think about it. Everyone is going to want to get their first pay. If you're an O founder in this thing, I'm assuming that you're here still waiting because you are dependent on getting paid by ONPASSIVE. For whatever reason it may be. Something is keeping you there because you need the money back, returned to you. You paid money to be in there. You're told you have to buy the O Connect. Now you need money, okay? And you've been promised it. You're allowed to be like, fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. Right? You're allowed. So my whole thing is, that's everybody right now. So they all buy O Connect, and then they're all at the top of the pyramid. You get what I'm saying? So now we don't have anybody left. Like, what do they mean traffic allocation? And like, that's why I'm saying they have to explain it. Because this doesn't make any sense. We just have one line again. When you're looking at their MLM chart, you know, the MLM charts that all of us anti-MLMers bring up and we go through them with you. I haven't done it in a couple years, but I used to do it all the time. And it you know, like, just picture their chart. It's basically Ash. Okay, maybe the LCs like Marty and Mike Ellis and those people are like the very first top of the 1%, right? The top of the pyramid. Then everybody else is in a line under them. In all those little boxes, okay? I've driven it. I've drawn it out for us. I promise you, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Eventually, people are going to have to be under people who are going to have to be under people. You know what I mean? We can't just have a pyramid scheme that's Ash, the LCs, and then one straight line of a bunch of people. Because then those people in that straight line, like I said, are not going to be making any money. They have no traffic. Who's the traffic? The traffic from all the Dubai advertising is to be released. They've got 10,000 Chinese children in a warehouse ready to click and bring the traffic. That's what I mean, though. Like, technically, how this is explained right now, and based on how this would go, right? Like, that's what it would look like. So I'm kind of like, but that doesn't equal you getting paid or commissions. That just, again, puts all of you in a position where you can then receive them. But who's going to be the one going under who? Like, if anything, you want a bunch of people to not pay for O-Connect until the next time, so that then those people could be placed under you. Now we're in a weird situation where we're wishing for people to fail. Like, this is what I mean. See, it just, no matter how you try to work it out, it doesn't work out. And so it doesn't equal people getting paid either, is my point. You can allocate all the traffic you want. It does not then equal dollar signs either. And again, I can't make sense out of this. Right? When they get traffic, it'll be a massive circle jerk. Imagine the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other. And that's exactly what I see, right? They're all the same. So they're all going to be on the same level. Like, how the fuck does that do anything? The traffic is the 100 million customers Mike Ellis said would come into ONPASSIVE during the World Cup last year. He got them in a dungeon somewhere, just waiting to let them out. They're like, we had to get O-Connect to work first. The guys in the dungeon are like, fuck, we're going to be here for another 10 years. They're like, don't worry, guys, we got you. January 16th. That's it. All right, enough blabbing. People don't like it when I blab too much. I love blabbing, but people complain often. So, we have one more pretty long webinar. It's about an hour long to get into. I'm not going to talk as much during this one, I promise. I will probably break that promise. But I wanted to go do a little bit of research because, I'm crazy autistic. So I have to research fucking everything. And there was a webinar, the one that we'll be reacting to, over on Marty DeGarmo's channel. And my speech impediment was like, we're going to go 100% full swing in this sentence right now. I don't know what that was. On this channel, Marty's channel, he just did an interview with our favorite woman, Robin Noble. I know that's who all of you were thinking of, right? They're like, no, we thought it was going to be Sherry That Shares, Queen. Fuck you. No, Robin Noble. And then they also had Collins on. Now, I'm not as familiar with Collins. So, of course, I just really wanted to check out and go and see who he was. So, I did. And this is his YouTube channel right here. His name is Collins Manna? Manna. Yes, I think it's Manna. As you can see, he has almost 3,000 subscribers, so I'm not picking on anyone too much bigger than me, or too much smaller than me, I guess you could say. And of course, he started his YouTube channel in November of 2022. He has 499 videos, and all of them are on passive. So then I went digging a little bit more, because it's just who I am. And this is his LinkedIn. As you can see, he is in the UK, I guess. You know? He's in the UK. Hi, Ellie. I'm not a judge. I'm not a judge. I'm not a court. But I can tell you that I know what a pyramid scheme is. I've called out many before they've been caught as well. And also, it's actually in the fact section of the Security and Exchange Commission's complaint. It's listed as a fact that ONPASSIVE is a pyramid scheme by the USA SEC. If you have an issue with that, You can ask Ash to send me another Dear There letter, and I shall have my lawyer reply with another Dear There letter. So, as you can see, he's from the United Kingdom, all right? And it says here he's a senior quality assurance specialist at IMS Evolve. And I was like, I wonder what that is. That's very interesting. Here it says that he worked in IT, I guess, for 3 years and 2 months. But he's been a quality assurance specialist at IMS Evolve since 2016. So that's like 7 years. He's not very big on his LinkedIn profile, As you can see here, he's not really sharing all that much. He shared this 7 months ago. And it's a lot of ONPASSIVE stuff that he's sharing on here right now, which I found a little bit odd because he's supposed to be at IMS Evolve. So I was like, well, what the hell is this IMS Evolve? And as it turns out, IMS Evolve says IMS Evolve is an Internet of Things. IoT. Sounds very interesting, right? Company reducing waste, maintenance costs, and energy consumption for its customers with an innovative machine learning platform. Weird. The IMS Evolve platform delivers digital transformation without the need for costly capital investments by enhancing, not replacing, existing infrastructure. Sounds a little bit familiar. Giving customers a statewide asset living insights that enable monitoring and management of mission-critical refrigeration, lighting, security, ATM, and HVAC infrastructure. The platform improves efficiencies and reduces waste through software-driven automation and action, building IoT into the heart of its customers' operations. The IMS Evolve data layer acquires, normalizes, processes, and translates data from legacy and new infrastructure into real-time actionable intelligence. Yeah, like AI, This approach that has been shown to deliver digital transformation and near instant return on investment without the requirements for costly capital investment for some of the world's biggest companies in retail, energy, and financial services. Founded in 1999, its clear mission is to innovate by improving business efficiency and enhancing the customer experience, all whilst making a positive change to a company's environmental footprint. IMS Evolve is headquartered in the UK and in 2017 successfully set up operations in North America to meet rapidly increasing demand. The 100-strong company now also has a large team working in Bentonville, Arkansas, and has deployed its solutions in over 8,000 retail sites worldwide. Crazy, right? Not in ONPASSIVE, though. In 2019, IMS Evolve was named as one of Britain's fastest growing SME exporters. So then I went over to the website. And as you can see, it's very like it's very like ONPASSIVE like, isn't it? No. Not really. Depends. It depends. Is it a real cease and desist, or is it just another Dear There letter? Collins is a supposed IT expert, but he's more like a support guy that takes calls and tells users to turn their computer on and off to fix the problem. Very lightweight. Yeah, it just makes me feel like he should know better. All right? But apparently they do like all kinds of work for businesses, as you can see. You know, just a lot of stuff. It's almost like another ONPASSIVE in a way. It's very interesting. Ali, Amazon has nothing to do with ONPASSIVE. It's not even the same sort of business. And the products are actually tangible. When people order something off Amazon, it shows up and they can touch it for the most part. Also, if it ends up that you get something that you didn't pay for, you know, they fucked you over, you can usually get your money back. I'd even suggest using Amazon over most of the things out here. Better than Temu, which breaks child labor laws. I'm sure that people do look at you in disbelief when you tell them what ONPASSIVE's been doing for the last 5.5 years. I'm sure they look at you like, wow, they already figured out how to do that on the internet 20 years ago. You guys are behind. Amazon found a niche in the market. ONPASSIVE is developing useless products. Who needs a web email client that doesn't work? The ONPASSIVE products are worthless. It's just the truth. You know? You stop trolling. You're the one in my chat trolling. What do you mean? You stop trolling, you be quiet, and you watch your mouth in my chat. Come in here with that attitude. You're in my fucking live stream right now, not Ash Mufara's. People are allowed to ask questions here and make statements and be as negative as they want about ONPASSIVE. And they won't ever get in trouble for it. But see how they're saying things like knowledgeable software is powerful software? And I'm over here like, this is basically just like another ONPASSIVE, but with like a different like target. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're all like, oh, we want to not use all of the bandwidth that some of the other people might need to use, and that kind of thing. They're trying to do it in a cleaner way, if you will. That's kind of their gig, is that you can run your business using all of this stuff. And so I was like, this is like all the exact same things, which is a little bit bizarre coming from somebody that's in ONPASSIVE. So he's acting like he's somewhat of a tech expert, right? But he doesn't actually work at ONPASSIVE as a tech guy. He works at that other company I just showed you, right? So I don't know why we take his word for everything, but apparently we're supposed to take his word and what he says. So I guess we should listen to him and what he has to say, huh? Because they're acting like he's very, very, very important. So this one was actually called ONPASSIVE Live, Marty and Collins and Robin Noble, which made me laugh because the only person whose last name they gave was hers.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in...
Oh my god, Marty, can you just get a new fucking intro? Like, this pumps us up, and then we're just met with you. But it's very underwhelming.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Scam them! Apparently we need an ad at the beginning. Marty's doing his intros like I do.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Live with Chris, but there's no Chris. I fired him because he always says that, so I thought he should.
What? No, Chris? Oh man. That's okay. I feel like some people needed a break from Chris today, to be honest.
Joking. He had to go to a funeral today, so I replaced him. We've upgraded, and I've got the voice and Collins. So we'll downgrade tomorrow when he comes back. I'm joking again. Anyway, because he's gonna freak out because I said that. Anyway, a couple things we're going to cover. Today is the 13th of January. Mr. Mufara popped in on Oran's last night, or whatever the name of it is now. And it was really interesting. He covered the explanation of what a domain means. And everything that Ash did, he explained. And I knew this, but it made sense. He built ONPASSIVE with everything that he would use personally to build a business, no matter what business it is, except he scaled it out so that the masses can use it. That's powerful. That is super powerful. And a domain, which is really cool, he gave a scenario. You know, when you go to people, and we all go to our friends, our family, and especially if you've jumped all over the internet trying to find that golden goose. And we found the golden goose. It's ONPASSIVE. There's nothing out there like it. I know. I've done this 20 years. But while we're jumping around, people change domain names. They change emails. They change all that. And anybody that's in business that looks and they see you flopping around, they're not likely to follow you. So it's very important that you get a domain that you want. Think about it now before you go out and just grab one.
I thought that you guys would really want to hear from Robin Noble today. I was like, they probably miss her. Chris is the type to drive a Corvette. He wishes he could buy a Corvette. He wishes. Ash explained what a domain is. Is that like when he convinced them that IPv6 was the key to the ONPASSIVE data centers? Yes. Yep. And what's funny here is that they're talking about how they want people to purchase a domain from who? Like, ONPASSIVE was supposed to host these domains. They don't have anything that hosts domains right now. Are you supposed to buy this from someone else? If ONPASSIVE is a goose, then it must be a male because there ain't nobody seen any eggs. It's true. Not one egg. Ash built his business with the tools he would use to build his business. Wow, that's pretty deep, yo. Right? That's it. Robin Noble. She makes me shudder. I'm still trying to figure out what it is about her. But I feel like a very big part of why so many people are very off put by Robin, and maybe it's just me, but she always sounds like she's scolding you. Like, no matter what she's talking about, I get vibes that I'm being scolded by my school's principal when I was in public school, getting in trouble all the time. You know?
And you can keep that domain because ONPASSIVE is now a registrar of domain names. It actually is part of ICANN.
Right?
Which is
But technically, you wouldn't want to buy a domain. Why are you telling them to buy domains from other people?
Listen, when the video when it's uploaded, I'll make sure we put it on the channels because nobody's going to explain it better than Ash did last night.
Do I have to sleep with her? Or can we just go out for a drink? I don't even know if I'd be able to do that with her, to be honest. She gives me bad vibes all around.
That's what Colin said when he came in. He said, wow, the explanation. Yeah, there's no reason for me to try to explain it when All we got to do is play that video. It's very, very good. But the point is, you own. Listen, McDonald's owns, I believe, one of the top real estate owners in the world. Why? Every McDonald's,
Hello
they don't
there.
rent the land; they own it. It's really, really powerful. And on passive or
Oh, for fuck's sakes,
digital,
Marty.
it's digital property. So you have an address. This is coolzone.ai for me, for example, or whatever. Robin has her domain, Collins have a domain, and you keep that. And as you grow and as you brand, because he made a good point last night. He said, you know, the Alexa rating, go look up on passive. Now, you would think eventually it's going to be number one in the world. Maybe not, because he doesn't care if ONPASSIVE's number one ranking in Alexa. He would rather have
Oh my God.
a million of us be ranked very, very high. That's pretty cool. That's absolutely, and people need to.
Really, if ONPASSIVE is ranked low, then those talking about ONPASSIVE are also going to be lower than it. Like, what?
Wrap their head around how powerful that really is, that you're building you and the company wants you to. Any other company I've been in, you get an affiliate link, which is something.com / some goofy stuff or your username or something, and then you hide it with something to try to make it look better. No. So
I try not to make jokes about weight, but you cannot deny that Marty has become one with that share.
the person at that time, the company's getting the credit for branding, even though you shared the link. Now, if you get your own domain, watch out. And that's pretty powerful. That made a lot of sense when he explained it. And you're going to be able to pick whatever domain you want. If it's available, somebody asked, well, can I have anything I want since you have your own registrar? No. You put in for what you want. Everybody that has domains goes through ICANN.
What?
So you have to find something. Now, here's the point. If I wanted martythegarment.com, I don't think there's another one, but let's say there was, you can add a little bit. You can add a little bit to that. And
see, I'm wondering about that actually, Scam Chan. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, like, wouldn't the main company's rank have to be high before any affiliate links would then even be ranked? Like, I don't understand that. That's not my forte as much. But I feel like you would want ONPASSIVE to have a high rating everywhere if you wanted to go viral and be a successful business. Is that just me?
it will be available and it's yours for the rest of your life if you keep it. And also, a lot of times with the domain, especially on GoDaddy, I didn't do it, but you could buy a bigger package where you get your own email, you get all these extra bells and whistles. ONPASSIVE's going to have all that extra stuff. So if I'm coolzone.ai, I could have coolzone.ai email. So it's all hooked together. It looks more professional. Anyway.
Yeah, but again, here's the thing though, and this is the problem with sites like Google and whatnot, is that they don't recognize .ai right now as even being like websites. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, .ai is brand new and it's just ONPASSIVE. So if nobody knows what ONPASSIVE is, and all of these hosting sites and all of the sites that do like the search engines and all of that, if none of them pick up on the .ai, right? Because ONPASSIVE is like not even in the internet world. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you go to Google right now, for example, and you go to look up a website tracking software, let's say, like O-Tracker, okay? But you're not looking for ONPASSIVEs, right? You're just a normie. You run a business, let's say. You go into a Google search engine and you type in O-Tracker. but without the, no, not O tracker. Sorry. You type in like website tracking, okay? And you're looking for one. O tracker is not even going to show up because O tracker is brand new. It's just like not knowing. Nobody knows who the fuck ONPASSIVE is. And these like search engine sites like Google don't trust .ai sites right now. When you like bring on a brand new hosting web address, it takes a little bit of time before you're like a trusted web address. Usually several people have to have it, which is probably why they want to give everyone their quote unquote own domains. This is probably what Ash is thinking, is like, if he can give a million people a .ai domain, then that will somehow put it on the map. But it doesn't really work that way because it's not a trusted domain and it's not knowing, like, do you know what I'm saying? So there's a disconnect there that Ash has where he's not fully understanding how this works. And I don't even fully understand how this works, but I can tell you that O tracker will not show up. So no one's going to know. This isn't going to help. Okay, this isn't going to get you seen by people that are into technology. This isn't going to get ONPASSIVE on the map. It's not what's going to make OConnect go viral. Similarly, you look up a conferencing app. Do you guys actually think that OConnect would even show up in the search engine for that? Like, to most people? No. Maybe to some of us, because we've been researching ONPASSIVE nonstop, and that's kind of how that works, right? So if nobody's looking it up, and if it's a brand new hosting, like I don't see how this is going to equate to more traffic or more trust, or how it's going to put you on the map or make you go viral.
I had went through and did the AI cloud, the definition of it in Google. That is very, very powerful. Multi-regions, multi-data centers. Because I remember when we were talking, I said this last night, when I first met Collins. Yeah, they're big. This is unbelievable. Are they going to own their own data center? It's one of the first things he asked. I don't know if he remembers that, but he can tell you. And I went, yeah, that's powerful. And then Ash brought it up like the next week. It's like he was reading our minds. It was either the next week or whatever. And that's a big deal. Now, when you get regional AI cloud, you're in many data centers, and it's all over the place. And it's auto adjusting, which means you go into a webinar, and maybe you got 50 people, and it's growing to 10,000.
Jesus.
ONPASSIVE goes those kind of numbers and higher.
Data.
It adjusts as you need. You need more, it gives you more. Where without that extra valve to open up the flow of what you need, sometimes you get that sputtering or you get the looping. Now, Tuesday, they're going to have the new version. We're going to see this in much bigger impact, and the looping should be gone. Now, that doesn't mean if you have an internet issue that this is going to repair everything you have.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting for him to say something like that, because now that, of course, leaves it open so that when it comes back and it doesn't work, see, they're already coming up with the excuse and how to put it back on you, right? Right? It's always your fault. It's your internet. Must be your internet. That's why.
And I had brought this up before, and I'm going to tell you this is from experience. You could have the best router. You could pay the most money. I do, because this is my business. But what I found out was something's not right. I got a new router. It just should be working better.
It really does anger me, I have to say. Like, the Recovering Hunbot puts so much work into understanding the technology behind all of this stuff, even more so than I do. And I put in a lot of work and researching and trying to figure out like how all this is, and I have people that I can ask questions to. If I'm listening to this shit and like Marty starts talking and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's just making this shit up, but I don't really know all that much about data centers. So I have people I can go to be like, hey, Marty's saying this. Does that make sense? You know about data centers. Like, I don't fully understand. Can you explain it to me? And it drives me insane that Marty could sit here and call this his business, like he's running an IT business, but he doesn't even understand the technology that goes into this, like at all. He had no understanding AI technology. He doesn't even understand how like web hostings work. I don't fully understand it either, but I'm also not out here trying to sell it to people. So my understanding is very much based on just the small knowledge that I have about it just from growing up with the internet, and then based on me asking questions to people, like I said, and then me researching because I hear shit like this and then I go, that doesn't sound right. I got to go look up how this actually works. And I go and learn about it. And I don't know, Marty, how you could like be okay with being so uneducated about something, but then you all three of you on the screen right now have sat there and talked like experts on this. And none of you are. Not one of you. In fact, I don't even feel like you have general knowledge and understanding of this at all.
And when I called the people in, I have Verizon. The guy came, I was lucky, had 16 years experience, loved his job. Of course, I drilled him for 20 minutes. I thought I was going to have to feed him eventually. A really nice guy. And he told me, after he investigated all the stuff, yeah, you have the best and the best you can get, but it stops at your pole. There's a filter at the pole. And then
That
from the
drives
pole
me insane. It's like, okay, if you're doing a live stream where you're literally trying to sell the idea that this company has data centers to someone, could you not just go and research how the fuck they work for a minute? Like, please? Like, just, or if you don't know, say, I don't know. I would so much rather deal with someone that will say, I do not know about this. I am learning about it, or please teach me about it, or I have no clue, than deal with someone like Marty or Mike Ellis or any of these clowns that just literally don't know, so that they like make it up or pretend. That shit drives me insane. It literally drives me loony. I'm like, well, don't make it up as you go along, for fuck's sake.
the house,
At least don't do that.
let's say it went 100 to the pole, and from the pole to the house was 70, and from 70 to in the house was 40. All the connections, even from the outside in. When he was done, I went click and it went boom, it was there. I logged in, boom, it was there. When I went to the next O Connect, boom, it was there. I see people looping, I see people with problems with the chat or whatever. There's a good chance that I even heard some people say, I got the best you can get. It's not me. It's not me. Trust me. I had it. I'm only saying from my experience, if you're getting a problem, because we're very high scaled technology. So I just don't think at this time we can blame the company for some kind of problem like looping. So you might want to call somebody out and tell them I don't like what's going on. Everybody I'm with is okay, and you might be surprised. They might find some little issue between the outside of your house and inside your house. Like my router has a white light. Well, it had blue, and then they had red. And it was.
See, that's the thing. Like, if they don't have one right now, if Ash didn't use the $108 million that he took from them already to buy one, I cannot believe that he owns one. And this is one of the reasons why. Because of the fact that they're expensive to get, expensive to keep running. So I'm like, we already know because of the SEC lawsuit that money's gone, spent. They basically trace every single cent that he spent and where it went to, right? They break it down for us. We've gone through it. So we know that money's gone, and a data center was not on the list of things that they bought. Okay? So since that's the last time that Ash made even a cent, right, on this, apart from no, because technically the first time they bought OConnect, they're supposed to get 100% commission. So even now, he still hasn't technically, right? Like he won't technically be making money off of this until after the traffic is allocated, as Mike Ellis said. So this is part of my issue with this. I can't, because it's like there's no money coming in. So how is he buying it, keeping it running, and doing all of that? Like, there's no data center. Also, there hasn't been any new ones added to the data center list. You can look up where all of them are, by the way. It's publicly available on the internet. We've done it on my channel before. Maybe we'll do it again soon. I can't right now, but maybe the next time. But you can look it up and you won't see any new ones that are on passive, because they also tell you who owns and runs it, right? So it'll be like this data center right here, and it's run by these people, blah, 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 okay? They'll tell you if it's privately owned, if it's being run as a business usually, and you could like rent out of it. You can look up all that information. And there is none that are connected to ONPASSIVE. So then I was like, well, maybe he's just like renting it off of other people. But then every single time that I ask people to look into who's hosting ONPASSIVE and what, it's never them. You would think that they would be hosting their own website then, am I right? Like, does that make sense? Because like, why would you buy a data center and then buy hosting from other, like that makes no fucking sense to me. Mind you, nothing in ONPASSIVE makes sense. So like it really just does. ONPASSIVE is running on Amazon services. Yes, Amazon. They've used GoDaddy. You like, you can look this stuff up. So this is what I mean. Like, I don't know. Like, could you not look it up, Marty? How do you not know this information?
Blinking. And one time it wasn't blinking. So I asked him, I said, what color should that be? He said, white. I said, well, and it was light green or some blue or something. He goes, oh, you're getting service, but not all of it. He knew right away. But we don't know that. You don't know that. And yet you're still paying the same amount. So make sure you get what you're paid for. That's what I wanted to say. Anyway, we're going to go in order. I'm going to take it over to Collins. And here's what I want to tell you before I do that.
Oh my God, Marty.
Some people, I don't know how many, it doesn't matter how many. Some people, when you go into your profile, it's blank. They know, but what they want is they want a list of who's having this problem. Now, don't go crazy and start writing support. We're going to post something in updates that you follow that. I'm going to get a hold of Julie Wynn. She does.
What? That's a problem with the website, not with what?
Doesn't know it yet. She's probably still sleeping. She lives in California. She can set up something where you can put it in. Very simple. They want like your name and your email. That's it. Don't do it.
How is that more? Explain this to me, Marty. Explain this to me. How is that more simple than just being able to write support when you have a problem? So instead of them having this issue and then writing support, you don't want them to just write support directly from the ONPASSIVE webpage, which would be the easiest thing to do, right? You want them instead now to go and look up Julie, look for some document that she might post at some point during the day, and then fill that out and follow those instructions. Oh yeah, no, ONPASSIVE. So easy to use. Everything in one place. Single login.
Yeah. Don't do it yet. Let me say that one more time. Don't do it yet. When we post it, it'll tell you exactly what you got to do. You put it in, the company gets it automatically, and we'll run through and get all these profiles back in. Okay. Now, one more thing I need to cover. What was it? Okay. There's some areas that are paying or not paying, whatever. Stay cool. They know.
I love how our buddy Collins is just like statuesque the whole time. You would think it's a picture. He hasn't moved a muscle.
They're working on it. Okay. So don't panic. Trust me. They know what you're saying. They're watching. Some of the stuff is they have to critique and adjust to make sure it's working.
Creepy.
If I think about something else, I'll come back on at the end. I'm going to turn it over to Collins Manna. I think with this crazy week and all the IT and AI stuff they brought up, I need to bring in an expert, and here he is, Collins Manna, and then we'll turn over to the voice afterwards to fancy things up.
What makes him an expert? And he doesn't work at ONPASSIVE, so how would he be the expert? I don't like how your expert works for another company that's not ONPASSIVE, but then he's going to tell us how ONPASSIVE is working. Like, okay, that makes sense.
At the end.
Right?
Collins, it's all yours.
Or Julie.
Thank you, Marty, for inviting me. It's just a pleasure to be here with Robin
For real, though.
and yourself.
Nobody has worked harder in ONPASSIVE than Julie.
Just want to greet everyone on the those who are chatting on the chat side and watching. Just want to wish you a happy Saturday. So we just want to dive a little bit deeper on the AI cloud computing, which Mr. Ash Mufara told us on Wednesday night. AI cloud is really massive. Really, really massive. It's a big deal. When I heard it, I was like, wow, this is really huge. Remember, we had the first data center.
Were you? As an IT guy that's allegedly been working in IT for a decade now, you were like, oh, yeah, I know that idea. That's amazing. Really?
Yeah, the first data center was about 1 billion capacity, maxed out because of the data. And now we're talking about the second. We're talking about multi-region cloud computing data center. And as we speak, OConnect is residing on that cloud computing data center. If we look at OConnect, it's massive data, it's big data, because OConnect is our video conferencing platform. And you're looking at the load and everything there is a need for data center. And thank God they came with one of the most sophisticated data center. Now, when you're talking about multi-region, what does it mean? And we're talking about cloud. A lot of people think like, oh, cloud is just something maybe in the outer space. No, it's about a lot of connectivity, wires, cable, stuff running across different regions, because they have a lot. If we want to look at it, the connectivity or the architecture behind it is really complex. It means you're looking at your client server, your desktop, like I'm sitting on my computer now, the way they build it, which one will be closer to me, where I can get, the system, I can really get all my data, retrieve all the data, what I'm searching for. Where is it? Which area I can get? So now, Mr. I said, all right, we have one in UK. The system will pick. There is one server in UK where all information is there. You can get same information, same like Marty Digamo. So when you look at it, the beauty about multi-region, if you look at the beauty, it's something we're talking about data security. That's the beauty. It enhanced data security and compliance, because one of the things, data is something that you can't joke with it. You have America has their own law, Canada will have their own law, the way they manage their data. In European will have their.
This sounds insane to me. It really sounds insane to me for some reason. Collins gets first pick of all the discarded Christmas trees. Is that why he's in such a good mood? It's huge, guys. Don't ask me what it is or does, but it's massive. Massive and billions. Colin's favorite IT words. He always says everything's so big. Yes, everything's big. It's huge. It's so big. It's so massive. Hello, Al. Why is the SEC filing in 2025? We have to wait a whole year to shut down this scam. There are a lot of people who are going to be scammed. Yes. Unfortunately, that's the quickest that they could get it on the docket. And I personally also think that they want a bit of time to get everything together, because I'm hoping that they really go hard on Ash and ONPASSIVE when it does happen. It's in early 2025. When COVID and all that shit happened, everything got pushed back for a little while. And so a lot of places are still a bit more behind, but it usually does take. I'm actually surprised that it was so early in 2025 that it got scheduled, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it to get scheduled until late 2025, maybe even 2026. I was telling everyone we had at least 2 years to wait, because usually it's about that long, and it takes about that long. There's also a bunch of legalities in terms of Ash being able to respond to this. So they have to also allot time for all of that. And that's often why it can take about 2 years, and why I usually, whenever we're dealing with something like this that's getting in trouble in court, why I say if it's a business, it'll be about 2 years. Because you have the right to respond to it, then they have a right to respond back to you. That could go back and forth a couple times. Then you're usually given a mediation period where they'll give you like 3 months where you're allowed to like arrange to mediate the issue, settle it before it goes into court and all that. And so by the time all of that is over and done with, it's usually about 2 years that's gone by. So that's usually why we have to wait at least a year or two when things like this happen. Even with the SEC, the FTC, oftentimes the same. It's like I said, the response time you get, the mediation time you get, all of that, and then also them trying to fit it in. Right, the courts are busy right now. They're still dealing with a bit of the backlog from fucking COVID. We haven't caught up on any of that yet over here in Canada either. Multi-region cloud computing data center sounds pretty good to me. This is what secondhand embarrassment feels like. Yes, it can. Yes.
Oh Lord, where the money. So you need to follow all that regulation. Now you look at where the multi-region are all located. It comes with security and compliance, and it helps to enhance data replication across the multiple regions. So for instance, what Marty Digamo is using is same what I'm using. That is where AI comes.
It is true though. They give you, usually it's about a month or 2 that they'll give you to respond to every filing. And then when Ash responds, then the SEC is then given a certain amount of time to respond to him, right? And I believe you're allowed to do that 2 or 3 times before they basically are like, "Okay, fuck you, like wrap this up and go to court or no." Then there's, like I said, like a few months for the fucking mediation they give.
Replicate everything, and what will happen again? Just think, if there's disaster, they have backup and disaster recovery. There is backup and so for instance, if one region fall apart because of disaster, it will replicate it. The moment the system come up, it replicate and then upload the system as if nothing have happened. And what will happen is, if say for instance one region which I'm close to, you know, the data center I'm close to, or the cloud service server which I'm close to has a problem, the system will reconnect me to the nearest one again, and I'll just be working as if nothing has happened. You will not even realize it. So the closer
ONPASSIVE would have to have multiple data centers for that. What?
You are to a multi-region cloud service, the more faster everything is, the more clarity, as if, and when you look at a lot of people ask, but why do we need it? And why? How comes? What is happening behind? Why shouldn't we have one? Think about load. 1 billion people hitting a server, that server can crash. Or say 20 billion or say 5.5 billion people hitting a server, the server will crash. So they have something, the multi-region comes in, and then they have a system called load balancer that balance the traffic. Say if this particular region can hold 1 million people, for instance, if I come and I want to be 1,000,001, the system will redirect that one traffic to the nearest one just to balance the load. So there is a system within the architecture called load balancer that balance everything across the region. And that is how crazy it is, and you can go on and on and on. As Marty said, the more load, the system can easily expand and readjust to connect you, to give you that greater possibility for you to extract data. Because no, you are hitting a server for information and you're coming out. The moment you click a button, it goes and pick information, bring it back to you. And that is what we have been doing. Now, human being is, we are now integrated into machine lives. So everything you do, machine is playing a big part. Computer system is playing a big part. Without computer, we cannot even survive again. And this is where data center play a very big part of it. We're talking about big data, like Dr. Tari talk about big data. You talk about big data, data mining, data modeling. That's where AI comes. For instance, talking about business, how will business benefit from all of this? The AI mechanism will do what? Extract useful data within the data center and give them exact, information, the information they are looking for. And that's what they call data mining. Looking at the data and say, this is what you need. The system can look at it and say, yes, though we have this big data, but this is what will profit your business. It comes with greater profitability across the board for business, for within the business atmosphere. And we can go on and on, but it's a massive, massive deal. And it is cost effective, as we see. ONPASSIVE now is in within our cloud service. Think about how much ONPASSIVE, as a company, we're paying to AWS. It's millions, tens of millions of US dollars. Some company pay £1 million a month. Some pay £33 million a year. Because the larger the data, the more data is like metered. It's like electricity. So the more you consume, the more you pay. So the more space you acquire, the more the company will charge you. But thank God, now we are.
So you see that? I think that they're obviously planning on selling that, right? And it just, how many things do you have to sell it on passive to make money?
There, O-Connect reciting on our cloud computing data center, AI driven. What do you think the company will do? The company will be saving that amount. Instead to pay to Amazon, now it is back in-house. And what will happen? The company will be more profitable. And what will happen to the founders? We also will benefit from what Mr. Ash Mufara is building, because he said, I want to take you with me. And this is where he is leading us to. So, Marty Digamo, let me give it back to you. Hello, Marty, are you there?
I'm here. I was
he checked out. He checked out when you were talking absolute nonsense and about how you wanted to charge people for using the data center, and that's how you would make money. That's when he checked out. And honestly, that's what we brought Collins on here for. That was it.
No, I was trying to answer somebody. I'm going to turn it over to the voice, Robin Noble. Robin, you go wherever you want to go, because if people don't know this by now, Ash said you're always right. So what am I going to say? You're always right.
It's wonderful to be here with both of you on a Saturday morning. Nice and warm inside with the snow and the cold air out there. So much to talk about and so much to be excited about. You know what? The first thing that hit me was when I realized that Ash has built ONPASSIVE for us. And every time we hear about new products, every time Ash talks to us, we learn a different facet of this diamond.
Robin, it's not a presidential speech. Okay? Did you write this down? I feel like you're reading it.
That he has developed and created based on his knowledge and skills, based on his experience of multiple industries that he's worked in, the knowledge base that he has to keep attaining a higher and higher level. But he built it the way he would want to have products that he could use himself. I mean, how exciting is that? I'm a little peon in this big ONPASSIVE mosaic.
You got that right, Robin. You got that right. The voice of ONPASSIVE Al. She could voice Al. She doesn't sound like she's going to try and steal at all. Marty says the voice like it's a good thing. Yeah, I know, right? The first thing that hit me, Robin, was the windscreen. It sounds like he just quoted a Bible verse about Ash. Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot. The ONPASSIVE mosaic. Yep. That's about right for Robin. She really does suck the shit out of Ash's ass. Let me tell you, she really does. Nobody has their lips tighter on there other than maybe Marty. Marty's like right there next to her.
Just one of those little mosaic chips in some of the most incredible designs. And I get to benefit from
little mosaic chips, you know,
all of this, both in terms of learning. I mean, this is an educational journey as much as a financial or a spiritual or a do good.
Oh, she's comparing it to a spiritual journey. Now I just feel icky.
Journey with ONPASSIVE. This is actually information that for anybody who wants to be part of the world these days really needs to know and understand. You know, AI technology is coming in. It's here. It's not coming in. We've been using ATMs for ages. We've been using terminology that has become...
Don't tell them that, Robin. You're going to ruin the whole thing. Don't you know that Ash invented the internet? Didn't you guys have to, if you didn't hear the Recovering Hunbot stream the other day, she played Ash from 2019, and he literally did a speech as if he was the one that invented, like, MLMs. It was fucking beautiful. Highly recommend. But it's so funny to me because Ash talks about it like he's the one inventing all these things, and then she just comes out here and goes, this stuff isn't new. Oops.
We've become so blasé about using these words, but we don't realize just what the impact has been to us. So, you know, thank you, Ash, again. Thank you, tech team, again, for what has been created that we benefit from. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping, as it were, and bringing you up to date on this because I don't have the same technical knowledge as Collins, for instance, with what he does both professionally as well as from his own interest. And I know that Marty way surpasses this. Marty and I have some amazing conversations, and we take it out into different categories and areas. But I'm going to bring it back into some of the basics that we really need to focus on now as founders or members of this magnificent company, founder affiliates. Because as we're hearing in these last few times that Ash has come forward from the corporate to last night with Ron, things are starting to move fast. And if you don't know where to find things now, if you don't know how to get the basics,
I mean, it's fucking about time. It's been 5 years for fuck's sake. And nothing happened. So if you think that this is moving fast, well, I guess I understand why you waited so long in ONPASSIVE then with nothing happening.
And the basics of what needs to be done, you are going to be left behind because we don't all have the time to keep holding hands anymore. When a webinar starts, we all want to be right on par with Ash listening to what has been said. So, as an example, learn your back office. We have 2 back offices that we have access to as founders and founder affiliates. We migrated from founders, But that back office still is used for the update section, primarily the update section, which is where some of the programs like the ONPASSIVE 360, those links are put in there. The information is put in there. The recordings of webinars and corporate webinar links are put in the update sections in the O Founders area. The other section that is used to a lesser degree by some individuals and more by others is the posting in the webinars. So some people are using that to post all their webinars as well. If that's of interest to you, check in there. This is now in the back office in the in the O Founders back office. In the OES, which is where we all migrated to, the beautiful blue screen and beautiful blue website, is where we need to find where the banner is.
It's so beautiful.
The banner is where you have at the top by the dashboard, and that is where it expands to read more. You need to know where these things are because that's where updates are put. That's where quick information gets put by Ash and by anybody else that is asked to do so. So please know these areas, because when a webinar starts, if you don't know this, yes, you're going to be delayed. But when you keep contacting people who are on the webinar, trying to pay attention so that ultimately they can help you with what's being said, it distracts everybody. So please, let's start being responsible. The other thing is, some of us, myself included, did not know that the chatbot in OES, for instance, is how to raise
Can I
a
just
support
say you
ticket.
gotta love Robin in a way? Like, this bitch came out of nowhere, okay? I've been covering this for years. Never heard of her before. Like, and then all of a sudden, she comes out here and just immediately goes into giving these talks and scolding people as if she's like, and I'm kind of like, who the fuck are you? Like, she straight up comes out here and she scolds everybody, right? And it's so funny to me because it's like she just came out of nowhere. She didn't like make her way up. You know, you got to give it to some of the O Founders. Like, Susie worked her ass off to get noticed by Ash and to go on these webinars, right? You know what I mean? Then you have like Collins, but he's the IT guy. So see, you got to have something special, or you got to be like super duper connected to Ash. Like Marty and Mike Ellis and those guys all have like a personal relationship with him, right? In order to kind of be seen here to be the top. You got to engage, which means going to all of the webinars, like all of them. Okay? Robin didn't do like any of that shit. It's almost like she just showed up one day. She just showed up one day and just started telling everybody like what they should be doing here. And it's kind of beautiful at the same time. Like, you got to have some respect for that. It makes me laugh. Susie worked her ass to get noticed. Yes. Right? And Robin just comes out here and just starts scolding. Like, she just straight up scolded everybody. She's like, listen, you got to know your back office, people. All right? You got to know it. Make sure you go and learn it. All right? We don't want any of these silly questions. And I'm kind of like, Robin, ma'am, you just got here.
In the O Founders section, there is a drop down and it actually says support. But in the OES section, you go to the chatbot and click in and ask for support information. And you will be given the email, or you'll be given directions on how to raise a ticket. Because in the drop-down section where it says support in the
new level unlocked
OES, it's showing you what tickets have been raised and what tickets have been closed. It does not give you a spot to actually raise the ticket. I learned something new. I didn't know that. I also don't need to contact support right now. I'm taking the attitude of I'm waiting to see.
Oh, good for you, Robin. Good for you. Aren't you just better than everyone?
We've been told there are updates and upscales and upgrading and rebalancing and reconnections that are happening. So I'm waiting for all of that to happen. And then if there is still concerns, I will then contact support in due course. The other thing too is with these updates and upgrades and upscalings that the company is doing behind the scenes every single day, and most likely multiple times a day, please get into the habit of refreshing your computer before actually going into your back office or going to a webinar. This will help the system to pick up any of the changes that are being made. And as of Monday, Tuesday, and next week, we will not have to refresh from the OConnect standpoint in and of itself, but the OES back office might still need some of that help while it is still connecting. There will come a point in time where we won't have to do any refreshing at all. But remember, we're still growing, and with these incredible clouds and databases that are being added, with all the extra people getting on and getting more involved now, we want to help the system upscale as well. It did very well when there were 5,000, 10,000 people on the different areas of ONPASSIVE in the back office. But we now have so many more people. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people that are on the system all the time. ONPASSIVE never shuts down. You know, this is working 24/7 around the world on all these different areas. And even my bank will send me a message saying data not available until such and such a time. And too bad, you can't get it. You don't know what your balance is. You don't know if a check has gone through. ONPASSIVE is not doing that. So let's respect the work that's being done, help and do what we can as well, and be part of all of this together. Another big thing, we're getting better at this, but this has been something that's really bothered me for quite a while, is can we please be proud of the company name and spell it correctly? Capital letters. If you have a chat, if you have a group, and you've spelled it in small letters, please go in and edit it. Spell it with capital letters. If you're writing posts, if you're writing messages, if you're sending messages, if you're acknowledging anything in any of the webinars, please spell it correctly. Capital letters, large letters. And this is in every language all around the world. It's one word, only one way to spell it. Stand tall, stand proud, because ONPASSIVE is doing the work for us, and we should be proud of what we have. The other thing I've noticed personally in helping other founders is when you purchase your OConnect product, sometimes it does not automatically show the icon in the back office. I have found that if you purchase and it says the sale has gone through, go right up to the top and refresh that page. As soon as you refresh, the icon appears. And I think this is also causing some stress for people who think they've not received it. This is a series of tickets for support that can be eliminated so easily because it is there. So just refresh it, you'll see the icon, but also to double check, go to your My Subscriptions because it's also listed there. And in that My Subscriptions line, it's really quite exciting because it shows the day that you've purchased it with the date. It shows your ending cycle, and I'm sure it'll be populated with so much more information as it becomes available to us as well. So we are doing so much and we're going forward so quickly. Well done. And to those of you who are becoming more aware and waking up, wonderful, because the products that we have and what are coming are exciting. This is a digital property. You know, we're not just floating around out there in the air, which is what it might seem like. There is a purpose to everything that is being done. And also, just as a last thing to think about, if you deliberately have bad intentions towards the company, don't think that the company's not going to find out who you are. You're dealing with somebody and some of the best minds in the industry of being able to track, of being able to, you know, it boggles my mind that somebody thinks that they can get one over Ash and ONPASSIVE. With everything that this company is, don't be silly. Don't ruin your chances of something really fantastic with all of us. Don't slow down the process that is being put in place. And we are so close because of a founder making a negative or a disastrous choice. We don't need to spend the extra time fixing something that really should not be fixed or doesn't need to be fixed. But these are just some of the comments that I'm passing along to you because of comments that I receive from people. And I know we're doing this together, and it is such an exciting time. So let's stay together. Let's hold each other's hands. Let's move forward.
I do feel like this is a written out speech, but then at the same time, it's not. But she does sound like she's reading like a presidential speech when she talks like this.
Forward, and let's succeed together, because that's what Ash wants for all of us as well. Thank you both. Thank you, everyone.
Guys, what am I going to do? Robin Noble is coming for me.
Boom, baby. Drop the mic.
He did it. He said it. It's been so long. Thank you for making my little heart happy, Marty.
Drop the mic, both of you. Let me just say a couple things. One is, remember, another thing, because you're always reminded, I should never get on the screen with these two because I'm going to have trouble stopping. But remember this. Anything you see out there that puts a bad light
Please don't send me another Dear There letter. I just won't be able to take it.
on passive or putting a bad light on your business.
Let us hold each other's hands and sing Kumbaya, thy ash, Kumbaya.
My business and everybody we've grown to know.
On passive? That would be beautiful. I would love it. Robin is an AI robot. She does sound like semi-robotic, though. Oh my god, she's gonna Sparta kick me off a cliff? I better watch out. Better get some body armor. Hopefully on passive we'll release the med beds for that.
Drained oceans and knock down walls, and I have friends and family.
Oh my
across
gosh, you
the
weren't
globe.
shitting me. Now Marty's talking about knocking down walls and shit. I'm definitely getting kicked off a cliff now.
And if I see something that, don't hype up on passive. I got a news flash for everyone. Most of you know this.
Fair enough.
If you just tell everybody that what they get in unpassive, they already don't believe it. So why would you make it more? It's not necessary. I dumb it down when I tell people. I don't tell them all the stuff.
Do you? Would you consider the speech that Collins gave dumbing it down? Is that what the problem was?
They're going to get right in the beginning because they're going, yeah, right. They think, wait a minute, I'm going to get a lottery ticket. I get to put on the amount, and I guarantee I'm going to win eventually. Come on. So don't blow it up and don't be dumb. I am not at the level of a Collins or the company, but I can tell you what.
Yeah, guys, don't be dumb. All right? If you're dumb, just stop it. Just stop being dumb. You heard it from Marty. Also, this horrifies me. That love child would be one creepy kiddo. That's all I'll say about that.
If you do it, I can find you. So I know they can. So be smart. And by the way, if you see something, not only is the company its brother and sister's keepers, so are you. So if we see something, we should say something. I'm not saying go to the person and scream and yell. I wouldn't want that to anybody. But you go to them and say, this is not true. Take it down. They want to give you a hard time. Listen, they can find anybody. They can find any. I know they're finding people now. Now, there's a gentleman here. I don't see his name right now. He asked Ash about his country. I don't know if Robin remembers his name. Henderson or something. It doesn't matter. They know. I just want to let you know that it has been relayed that the country you live in, the Dominic. That's it. Not Dominic Republic, Dominic. Dominic, is it? Robin, I think?
Dominica.
That's it. Yes, they know. So we've done our part. The company knows whatever it is, it is. Just wanted to let you know that. Because I saw you ask a couple times on here. If you ask Chris to do it, he does it. Okay? Trust me. What was the other one? This is powerful. We all said this, but I want you to understand something. Ashmufar was a super affiliate. Okay, he built companies as an affiliate. He brought in so many people and so much revenue and so much whatever. He
That one.
built companies.
No, not really. He was just one of the highest recruiters in MLM because he signed up 100 people in like a month or some bullshit like that, I believe it was. I have a whole video. One of my first videos about ONPASSIVE was a deep dive on Ash and his background. So he didn't build companies. After that, he was a part of several pyramid schemes that got shut down. And then he started AshMax after Telex Free was shut down. Maybe even when it was still going. But like at the very end of it, he began AshMax. And then that was found to be a pyramid scheme and shut down. He doesn't have a good track record at all. Like, I would not trust him. Nobody in their right mind would. They're finding people now. Perhaps this is how they're getting the traffic. Maybe. I mean, they got to get it from somewhere. Because, like I said, everybody's on the first row. That makes no fucking sense. I don't believe so. I don't think so. Ash built nothing. His so-called hype of 350 in a month, is that what it was? In GDI, came from people below him. He did get an award from GDI for it, but it's the same as like any of the multi-level marketing awards that you'd get, right? Like it doesn't mean anything. Hello, Brittany. Good to see you. Sending you love right back. But like... MLMs is the only place where you can have such an awful track record of like just being in all these scams and like MLMs that you failed at, because everyone fails at them, by the way. If you failed it, you did it right. Just saying, they're set up for you to fail, not be successful in. So like, it's like the only place where you can be like, yeah, I was in 10 scams before this. I ran scams before this. And I was in a part of several multi-level marketing schemes where I didn't make any money. And so then I created my own. And you should totally join this one. And people will actually be like, yeah, no, sounds legit. I'll join. You're like, what? GDI tracks every sign up of people below you as something you did. Yeah, most of the MLMs do. Most of them do. Which is kind of like what's so funny about this and how ONPASSIVE works, because they're doing it the wrong way. Completely the wrong way. What are you going to do when they find me? Raise their voice on the internet, like type in all caps at me? Robin will give you one of her speeches that sounds very much like the principal at school. Oh God, the Beachbody MLM. Yes, that's the one that my friend, the recovering Hunbot, who also covers ONPASSIVE extensively, was a part of before she was anti-MLM. I was in It Works and Sensi, right? And like, they're all very much the same. Every time you sign up someone underneath you in your downline, it is a big accomplishment. But it's not because it's a good thing for real. It's because then they make more money off of the person, right? Usually these things are set up for the distributors to buy the products, just like ONPASSIVE. That ONPASSIVE is doing well on. And it's very MLM in that sense. That's why it's funny when they try to say they're not an MLM. Because I'm like, you're doing everything like an MLM would do it, though. And you're literally setting this up like an MLM, like this traffic allocation. It's supposed to be building their downline, right? It's just, as I pointed out, all of them are going to be in the first wave of this, apparently. So who's the traffic going under them? I don't understand. They still haven't explained it. Honestly, most people are using Avon or Sensi here in Canada. Here in Canada, Avon and Sensi are extremely, extremely big. Literally. All top, no bottom. That's what it's gonna look like over here. So they're not doing that part right. I don't understand it, and I've tried to make it work out. You guys know me by now. You know I sat there with a board and a pen and paper, and I listened to them talk about this a few times, and I tried to draw out like what it would look like and like switch things around and try to figure it out. And since I've been in MLMs, I know how to do that to try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing here which is why I think this is how they're trying to set themselves apart from other MLMs, which is what's fucking them over here, right? Is that they don't have like the levels here. Like other MLMs, you can be like Emerald, and then you'll be Ruby, and then you'll be Diamond, and then you'll be double Pikachu Diamond, and that's kind of like it gives you goals for how much to sell and how they kind of keep you in line and keep you working. This doesn't even have that either. Like there is no actual plan for this. So even when they start allocating traffic, as Mike Ellis is all excited for, I still don't get how this is supposed to happen and be successful for anyone.
And he built tools that he needed to do that.
This is camera.
And he has people contact him. Mr. Maparo, this is so-and-so. I want you to join me here. Mr. Maparo, come here. Of course they want him because they know when he comes, he's going to have a system that works and he's going to bring in a lot of people. He built that system for all of us.
10 million.
And that's why he did it. Put that in your head. And if you're going to say, well, I don't know if I can do any, listen, you are a hero. The industry is a pyramid. And I mean it. I want you to visualize this. 1 or 2%.
Marty, you couldn't sound more like a robot right now if you tried.
2% do okay. Some do very well, but it's like 1%, really. And everybody down does less and less and less. 98% of the people going online, they don't make any money. In fact, a very high percentage loses money. ONPASSIVE flipped it upside down. Now people can say, oh man, listen, go by the fact. You wait, watch and see what happens. I'm not going to go talk you into staying. You want to go. But I'll tell you this.
So I guess the idea here is to sell it and then tell them all that there's no like levels, which then makes it look better than all the pyramid schemes out there and all the other MLMs because they all have levels. But on this one, you're like all on the same level, which again begs the question, who's the traffic then? Like it doesn't work. It sounds really great when Marty's like blabbing about it. I'm sure he thinks he sounds so smart right now and like this is gonna really work, and just like Ash does when he talks like that. But it's like it doesn't actually work.
For what you have what skin in the game that we have is a joke. Let's go back to that for 1 minute. We were told a long time ago, 97 to be a founder, and your product's going to be somewhere between $200 and $300. This is the one time that the company did not tell the truth. Oh, I got people panicking right now. Here's why. Because they gave the 97 back. You can use it to buy the product. And by the way, the product was nowhere near $200 and $300. And you get paid for it if somebody buys it. Come on. We all knew this. We all knew this for a year and a half, more than a year and a half. Some of us knew it for over 5 years. So when we act surprised that something's happening, the only surprise is I'm surprised you're acting surprised. We all knew. So when people say, I thought we weren't going to be left behind. Listen, I've done this since I've been in. I know these two people have done it. I grab people. I don't just pull them up. I lift them above myself. But the day's got to come when you grab somebody's hand that they at least walk with you. That we should not have to piggyback somebody or drag somebody because they don't want to walk. Don't do that. This is too big. If they don't see it, I don't. You're not going to make them see it. Don't try to do that. You don't have to sell anybody on ONPASSIVE. But I do want to say, I hope.
Then this thing fails because nobody's trying to sell it.
You don't take that route
That'd be
and
awesome.
not go. The other thing is, well, do I have to buy OConnect? No. Can I wait and buy the third product or something I like better? Yes.
No, you can't.
You don't have to buy anything.
But that's a lie. Now you're straight up lying. You literally told everybody that if they hadn't bought OConnect, they weren't going to get paid. So now are we going back on that?
But here's the point. The first round of issuing or divvying out people from the holding tank is going to start very soon. This first round, I wouldn't miss no matter what. So how do you get in? Remember, it's in it to win it. In it is, I'm a founder. Win it is, start the engine. Starting the engine means you paid for the first product. The first product happens to be OConnect.
See?
I can't imagine anybody not wanting OConnect.
Okay, so this is what, Marty, you're literally contradicting yourself as you're talking. It's driving me insane.
Right now, we're probably averaging $10 to $15 a month for 25 people on the panel.
See, like, okay, now, if you were to say that in future you could tell people this because there'll be more than OConnect to buy, then that would make some sense as to what the fuck Marty's talking about here. But he's basically like, you don't have to buy OConnect. You can just buy any product. But guess what? OConnect's the only one that you can buy right now. So I guess in order to get paid, you better buy OConnect. It's like this catch-22 circle that we're fucking just looping around in. And it makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. First of all, it's illegal to tell people that they have to buy products in order to use it. You probably saw my stream where I told you, Marty, that it was illegal. Me and Marty have been having some fun on Twitter. He's a little bit upset lately. It might be because I've been poking at him all day long, every day on Twitter for the last week. That's probably not helping. I'm just saying, though, like, I don't understand, Marty, like, how you can sit here and you can just talk like this, contradict yourself, and say that. Like, you are saying that you have to buy OConnect, and then you're like, but I'm not saying it. If I really got my $97 back, I wouldn't have had to pay an additional $143 to buy OConnect. There is no way to get the money back right now either from the OConnect coin. Sorry, not the OConnect. Well, not from that either, probably. But from the O coin, like if you're sitting on 10,000 O coin, right now there is no way to then take that and turn it into US dollars or whatever money you're using. Like, no way to do that. So it doesn't even matter. I don't have 10,000 webinar friends. Nobody does. Nobody does. And they're releasing products at the breakneck speed of one every year and a half. So just wait for the second or third product. That's what I mean, though. Like, and here's the thing. That doesn't make sense either. All right? Because just think of it like this. You're supposed to get 100% commission on the first product you sell. So whatever product is the most expensive product is always going to be the first one that people are going to try to sell anyway. And these products are all going to be different prices. So now you're creating like competition between products within your own market. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's kind of an issue when you do things like this. And this is just another issue with this whole comp plan and business plan that they're doing. Marty lets you poke at him on Twitter. Marty and Chris blocked me on Facebook. I don't think he fully knows how to use Twitter, so he just keeps sharing his webinars, and then I retweet them and say funny things. Well, I think they're funny. I laugh at them anyway. I wonder if Marty will regret choosing to have his legs amputated if ONPASSIVE actually pays off. See, but this is the thing, is that it doesn't make sense. Nothing here makes sense. We just gotta all hold our breaths for fucking Tuesday and hope that something happens.
10,000 people in attendee. Seriously, how long have we been using it? How many times did they charged us again? They didn't. They extended the time or they dropped the price.
Okay.
Nobody does that. Thank
Yeah,
God Ash is not a normal CEO. Thank God above.
Thank God that things aren't running smoothly over here and how they're supposed to.
He's not thinking money. He has people around him, thank God, that are thinking about the company of money because Ash would give away the farm.
Is that the problem? Maybe you should think of money so that things actually get done over here.
Well, I'm joking about that. He's not stupid. He's a very intelligent man. But he is constantly wanting to give. So if you're going to, listen, part of the mindset of success is very simple. Some people look at ways to save. Some people look at ways to win. I never met a millionaire that cuts coupons. Never. People that win take a step. They take that step. And the beauty of
to be fair, Ash isn't really a millionaire. He spent all the money.
ONPASSIVE is the path we're taking has already been plowed. The weeds have been cut down with a machete, and he's laying out a golden road for us. And all we have to do is walk behind. And if you want to run, you can run. You can soar.
Hi, Marty. I'm a weed. Nice to see you.
I don't care what your passion is. I don't care who you are, where you're from. ONPASSIVE doesn't give a darn about your color, your sex, fat, ugly, goofy. It doesn't matter. In fact, we have them all. But it doesn't care. What it says is, if you're in it, you're going to win it. How quick? As quick as it happens. But let me ask you the alternative. Plan B. Forget the time. Let's say it took 2 years to get to where you're really, really happy. Let's just say it took 2 years. How long is plan B going to take you to get there? It won't happen. Most people retire in the United States, very high percentage, in poverty. They barely made it for the 40 years they worked, and now they're expected for the next 10 to 15 to work, to live on even less. My mother-in-law is not getting some of her medicine because it's $200 or $300 a month. You know what she makes in Social Security? $1,200. And she's living with my daughter. She couldn't afford to live on her own. That's reality. That's where people are going. Yeah, you could make a big salary. You could. It's not happening. It's very, very rare. ONPASSIVE will take you to the other land. It will take you where you want to go. But if your mind is, I belong here, this is all I've ever known, that's good for him and good for her, that's not me and I'm not that person, good, because you shouldn't be anyway. But if you put a limitation, it's your own imagination of limitation. It's not the company. I'm going to run as hard as I can. Why?
I think it is.
I'm in a Lamborghini. Why would I drive around in first gear when I got five gears and 1,000 horsepower? I want to fly like the wind.
Like the wind.
It doesn't make sense. Everything was built for us already. So, and here's the other cool thing. In the business outside of ONPASSIVE, the philosophy of it is, I got mine, you get yours. No doubt about it. I got mine, You get yours. But what comes out of their mouth is, you follow me in 90 days and I'll set you free. 120, you'll be just like me. All this bullshit phases that people say that's not
You mean like the bullshit that we've been listening to for the last couple hours?
true. But non-passive, you set your goal. You do what you want. You shine. You know, Chris is going to a funeral today of an uncle. And he said to me last night, did he really live everything? Or did he retire and say, this is just the way life is? It doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. Especially when you were given a ticket where you are a hero. As talked last night, and I'm going to generalize everything he said. It was all about us. It wasn't about him. It just wasn't. And if you think it is, or you have some kind of anxiety, I want you to remember something. I say it all the time. Ashmi Farrow is the CEO of ONPASSIVE. You are in ONPASSIVE. That answers every question you could have. And Robin said it so much, she drives me insane. But she's right. Stay in the now.
She drives us all insane too, don't worry.
Why are you racing ahead? You know what? I got people asking me, well, what if blank, 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 something that might be 6 months down the road, and they didn't migrate right? What the freak do you care what's going to happen in 8 months? You didn't even buy the product yet. Stay in the now. Don't run ahead. Listen, there's little things. We'll have meetings and some ideas that we can share with each other that if you want to run, you can run. I share a lot of stuff with people. I would do it. Mike Ellis does it. Dan Street does it. A lot of people do it. I've shared with these two people here. That's not a problem. I want to do it. I'm here because everybody wins. And this is unbelievable. I think this will be the biggest company that ever existed. Anyway, Collins, you want to do closing remarks, and then we'll let Robin do it, because if I keep going, we'll be here all day.
There you go. You guys got your wish. You wanted Robin to talk again. It's because of you that this is happening.
Yes, thank you, Marty. Well said. You know, we are really in a better place. There is no place better than ONPASSIVE. There is the product, there is the market, as Marty just said. There is no way. It's just that Mr. Ashmufara is controlling everything, because if they open it, it will just explode everything. So with every business, you need that control. But honestly, as Marty have just said, you must be in it to win it. Be in it means you must own the product. Doesn't matter if you're a founder. If you don't want to own it, that's fine. But be in it means you must start the engine, open the door for customers to come into your own business. So I just want to thank you, Marty, for inviting me, and Robin here. And just want to greet everyone. Wish you a blessed Saturday.
Go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry. I muted myself.
Good.
This is again.
Shut up, Marty. We came to hear Robin.
Another incredibly productive, informative. I'm listening and learning from the two of you. And I really, really enjoy it when we have these types of conversations, because it does expand the mind. It does make us think. It makes me think. I can't speak for others. Do you know what? I have a position in ONPASSIVE that didn't cost me anything. I paid $97 to get my founder's position. That was then credited to my account. The price that that we were told originally, in the vicinity of what we would be paying, has been much less than that. And by purchasing OConnect with all the discounts and the thank yous and the appreciation of Ash to his founders, that amount was returned to me with the first sale, when somebody bought their position, activated their position by purchasing OConnect.
How?
In my organization.
What do you mean? Like, you got O-coin?
Station. I have got so much to be grateful for. Because exactly as Marty said earlier, working with other companies, we were always promoting the other company. And there was never a thank you.
What do you think you're doing with ONPASSIVE? You're promoting ONPASSIVE, hello?
Beyond a product or a minimum commission, unless you pushed and pushed and pushed. And if you didn't know the dynamics and the logistics of creating in those other industries, it did not return anything for us.
Marty's dog doesn't
didn't
like
for
you, Robin.
Me, except
Just like Chalupa doesn't like Ash.
for good product. And those were my choices then. But I'm disabled.
Oh,
I'm on
Lord, here we
disability. And I could not afford my own place with what I get.
go. So then why did you get into a scam, Robin?
And I have seen and studied and worked with ONPASSIVE from day one to learn and to see the benefits of how this is going to help me, but also help me help others, which has always been one of my taglines from the moment I think that I really started working, when I think about it, because even on the ships, I was helping other people. Even when I had the health food store, I was helping other people. So I have always been there to help others.
Wow, Robin Noble. What a humanitarian she is, huh?
But I've also helped people more when they've taken responsibility and not abdicated responsibility to do things for themselves as well. We can all give a lending hand and helping hand to others. And that's where so much more is going to open up for all of us. And we are going to see the possibilities, the endless possibilities, things that we've never even thought of happening, not only for us, but what we are going to be able to do to help others. And that's not simply, as I'm reminded by my sister, who keeps me on the straight and makes me think, it's not always solved by an envelope with money in it. You teach people how to fish, they will fish forever and always have food to eat. If you give them an envelope, yes, it might help them over that immediate hurdle or hump or challenge, and it is sometimes needed, absolutely, but it is not always the answer to helping other people. So
Good one.
we've got some incredible minds in ONPASSIVE as founder members and people who have got the most amazing ideas of what they want to do, humanitarian, professionally, and all sorts of things in between. And we are going to do this together. And you know what?
Wait.
Together, they are going to want to do it themselves or through their family and with their families. And you know what? That's fine too. But we're all part of this amazing company. And this company is a business. It's not a cult.
Amazing.
It's not a spiritual awakening. This is a business. So let's put that first and foremost. Our perception, our gratitude, our appreciation can come forward in many ways. But to people who are listening, we also all realize that this is a very grounded, 2 feet on the ground business. So make no mistake, we don't have any illusions here about what this company is all
I honestly hope Cindy Hopkins got out of this thing, but I don't think she did. I think she is still around.
about. The respect that you hear with the titles and acknowledgments of brother and sister and family members is because it's out
That
of love
is
and respect.
not respect. That's just cultiness, making it all family-like.
For each other through the friendships that we have developed over the years that we've been in ONPASSIVE. So think about coming and looking at the products if you're listening to this for the first time. If you're in it, please seriously think about getting yourselves into the first section and distribution, which will be starting anytime after next week and after the 16th, and quite possibly before
All right,
the end
so
of
they are saying the 16th here then. I just missed it somehow.
the month. But if you cannot do that, it's all right. You haven't lost the opportunity to be part of ONPASSIVE. It will just happen at a different pace. The other thing I'd like to make a suggestion just before I say thank you and goodbye is
that's the thing. Join for the friendship, stay for the scam. And it's a lot of people also stay because it's very hard to admit that you've been scammed. Which is why a lot of us try to kind of stop the stigma of people that are getting scammed, that they're dumb or they don't know any better or whatever else. It's because people, there's a lot of shame and guilt attached to it. So people end up staying in these things for longer because they don't know how to like go and face their family and friends and be like, yeah, I ended up getting scammed with that. It took a bunch of my money.
if you do hold multiple positions because you purchased for various reasons,
I
family
hope
members,
not, Andy.
charities, other works that you want to do, and you're stuck or you're unable to purchase for all of them.
Not to be rude, but I think she's too old for that, Violet.
Purchase for one, or purchase for your
But I
main
am.
1 or 2 accounts if you can, because that will start the process. And from those proceeds and commissions that you will then receive, you will then be able to start to make the others active. It might not all happen at once, and that's perfectly all right, but you are in it, and it is going to happen if you make these steps and take these first steps to make it happen. Only you can do that, and it's only your decision. No right and no
Only you can be the change you want to see.
wrong. But I am very, very grateful to be here, and I'm so thrilled again to have been
So
with you,
great,
Collins, and Marty with you this morning. So stay warm if you're in snow belts where it's coming down or where it's raining and drizzly and miserable and gray. And for those of you in the hot climates, just keep smiling, because the alternative would be minus 30 degree, minus 40 degree, minus 50 degree weather like they're having out west in Canada. So have
Celsius, though. Make sure you add that in there. That matters, Robin.
a wonderful weekend, and let's look after
I mean, honestly, right now, I'm in Ottawa. It's -8, which isn't that bad for right now. Usually in the middle of January, we are sitting at like minus 30 degrees Celsius weather.
each other. Thanks, everybody.
By the power of the NDA, stay. So that means you don't have to do anything at all. That NDA has 0 power.
Buddy.
Buddy, my little buddy. That is very Canadian. We use the term bud way too much. For all different reasons. It's a great word to use because I can be like, yeah, okay, sure, bud. And you don't know if I'm being sarcastic or friendly. Yep.
Wow, that was a good live. I feel good, and we love y'all. And like I said, just get updated. Help anybody that needs help. Don't try to talk anybody into something. Tomorrow is O Heroes at 2:00. If you do have a Q&A, that is where to go. That's where I would go. There's other webinars. I'm not putting them down. That's just where I would go. There's a lot of meetings going on. Also, you have Comfort, who's one of the best of the best.
Yeah, the person,
Again, that's
not the feeling. I'm sure that none of this made you feel any comfort.
my opinion.
Jeez.
And just look around, learn what you can, and help each other. Remember, you could be a hero. You know, you have the
You
cape.
can be a hero, baby. You just have to join the scam. We will win all this together. Please just take my hand. That's the best I can do. Sorry.
You're going to be able to fly. Okay, so do that. I hope you do, and I can't wait to see your face and hear some of the testimonies 6-7 months from now. Anyway, I'll see you all. Collins, thank you very much for
Marty,
being here.
you take my breath away.
Robin, thank you. What you heard today is a conversation we would have. We just happened to videotape it. That's how we talk behind the scenes, believe it or not. So, anyway, see
I
you all, and
don't
thank you very
believe
much.
it.
Marty, just
Pretty
one
sure you
announcement.
talk more than that behind the scenes. I'm just saying.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead. Go ahead.
we have
Collins, they were about to end it. Damn it. What you talking for?
Empowerment Network with the OTech Pros at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to list all the webinars. You don't want anyone to miss the other 50 webinars for that day.
Today.
Yes.
Today.
Oh, look for that, okay? Because there's one thing I know for sure. Not enough people go to it. They should be flooding that. Really, really. So thank you, Collins. And Collins, every day when you have that, put it in the thing. I want people to go there. That's where they should be going. Okay, thank you, everybody. And anything else, Robin or Collins, before
I mean, like, Collins is probably going to say all the extremely important information over there. Right?
shut this button off?
Jesus.
No,
Good.
we're good. Thank you, everybody.
Over 400 people today.
Boring.
I am grateful that everyone showed up. See what happens when you bring
Hella
on powerhouses.
You think this is
Anyway,
boring?
Q-Tip Man is be back tomorrow. Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to call him that. Well, my bad. Anyway, I'll see you all and have a great.
I believe Q-Tip Man is red because he's bald. And yeah, they cut it off before it was over and before he said goodbye. How nice of him. No news really is news. Honestly, over and on passive, no news is probably better than the bad news that you usually get, right? The OTech Pros, aka the Wooden Tops, yeah. Robin is like, let me out of here. Yeah, she was done. She scolded us enough for the day. And when must founders eat, sleep, work, go to the loo if all they do is watch webinars? Well, you can always take your phone to the toilet. Yeah. Don't you guys watch the webinars on the toilet? $7,000 a month off early bird special, right? See, that's the thing is that you're only going to get one more discount on the O Connect, right? If we're going by what they were saying, this is the last discount and the last extension. So many words, so little information, and yet they act like it's oh so important. Still no date on the next real product. No, because we're still concentrating on re-releasing the product that we already released, I guess. You would think it would be oh bless the next real product, though, if he was into helping humanity. I don't know. A lot of people fall off, I hope whenever I stop seeing people at the webinars that they left and got out of the scam. But yeah, that was Marty DeGarmo and Robin Noble and Collins Manna doing their lovely little stream together. And it just got more interesting after that. So we'll see if I can react to another one tomorrow. If I can, then I might set up a stream in the morning. So make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to the community tab tomorrow, because I might be able to stream another one of Marty's and Chris's lives. I find them quite fascinating, and I hope that you do too. Less discounts, so they will have to shut down OConnect, then take payments. Yeah, I mean, at the end of this month, everyone's going to have to pay more money for it. And technically, that will be the second buy. So this is what I mean. Even if you put people under you right now, right? So let's say tomorrow they actually do allocate the traffic, as Mike Ellis said, okay? Like I said, that doesn't really do anything unless they're kind of back paying you for their last OConnect that they bought and giving you the 100% commissions, because technically none of them have to then buy OConnect again until this extension is over, because they paid for it already and then they got it for 4 months instead of just the 3 months, right? Well, that ends at the end of this month. So then you would have to wait until the end of the month to get more commissions. So like nothing makes sense here. More bimbos, more fun. That's right. Making payments from commissions. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing is that, so you got it discounted, right? And then the next time it will be full price. So you're technically not making enough then. So you would have to have several different people sign up for OConnect in order to make the commission, in order to pay it all off. You have to have at least 4 people just to pay for the OConnect every few months. And when you think about it like that too, it makes even less sense that it works out. I gave my nieces and nephews OConnect and their stockings this Christmas. And they said, never come back, Aunt, Uncle. Just don't come back. Good night, all. Can we have the ONPASSIVE song so I can look for razor blades? Yes, of course you can. I always finish it off with the theme. Everyone always requests the theme, right? Win-win for Ash. So no payments, leave ONPASSIVE. I don't even know if that will wake people up or if they'll just wait. I hope that they will wake up, but I'm not holding my breath. I thought this was going to be a review of ONPASSIVE, a company that has never existed in all history of the internet, but the only thing happening here is people being haters. Yeah, we review it like every week, and we have been for a few years, so we're a little bit into the reviewing of the ONPASSIVE. I don't really know how you can review it without hating on it, considering it apparently doesn't exist, right? So, I mean, what are you supposed to love about it? I hate people being scammed with a company that doesn't exist. Don't you? Or are you okay with that? I'm just wondering. Would you like to buy some O coins and some crypto? Might as well buy some NFTs while you're here. I'll start putting my face, my little anime girl here on NFTs, and people can start buying them. Then I can become rich off of them. Yeah, see, I wouldn't even be able to do that. I have something called integrity. It sucks. That's why I don't do so well out here. You know, you got to be kind of a sociopath to make it on these YouTube streets. It is a lot of love-hate of ONPASSIVE. There you go. That's a good way to describe it. You know, it is a company that has never existed, which is why I think it's funny whenever they call themselves a unicorn company, because a unicorn is this, like, mythical thing that's never existed. All right? Never existed. So technically, I guess they're kind of admitting it in plain sight that they're not really a company, right? They mean themselves at this point. But that's all I have for us today. That's really all I have to say about that. I'm not holding my breath for tomorrow, but maybe we'll check out and see what everyone's saying tomorrow just to have some fun, see how people are reacting. So yeah, make sure you stay around and pay attention to the community tab and do all those YouTube things. Shout out to my replay crew. I love you too. Thank you everyone for being here. Please remember that ONPASSIVE is a scam.
It's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam.
And have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your MLM Monday. Mwah! Bye! Now, of course, your outro song, In It to Win It.
We are here, we are on passive, shining bright into the future, we rise high. we